Let them speak. Hey, Jamie, Steve, what's going on today?
Hey everybody, welcome to February 22nd office hours. Steve, what's happening over there?
Not too much. Hello, happy Monday.
Yep, no matter where you are, the markets all look the same today. Yes, happy Red Monday today. Welcome everybody. Thanks for popping in. Before we get rolling here, just want to take a quick moment to go over the disclaimer. Just coming at you on a weekly basis. Is for educational purposes only. Meaning, if you need investment advice, please seek out a licensed individual that can help you with that, someone like a registered investment advisor or a Series 7 licensed stockbroker. But bottom line, someone who's legally licensed to tell you what to buy, good stuff. All the info that we share with you guys is for educational purposes only. All right, always like to take a little bit of time here at the top of the hour. Getting a pretty good crowd in there each and every day. Could be 300, 400, 500 people. Barry does a fantastic job at moderating that room. He also likes to answer questions about the tech when he's not busy entering or exiting trades. So it's just a great place to spend your time. Doesn't matter if you are a pro or anywhere in between. It's just a great environment to be in. The next best thing about it, other than Barry, is the price, which is free. All right. So if you've shopped around, you probably realize that any trading room out there worth its salt is not free, but it's one of the fringe benefits that you get here being part of the TI family. Of course, hours, you get myself and Steve on Tuesdays for the trade of the week, and Andy Linloff's going to ride shotgun with him. Change it up just a little bit for the Q&A demo on Wednesday Williams edition, where we allocate an hour between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern so that you can come in and get live help with anything TI. And I'll show you how to get there here on the next slide. The address you see there at the bottom, trade-ideas.attend. So trade-ideas.com/live for the Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern live support session. And education, all right, especially for the new people. We realize that our product is getting very large, and video series is really great. So if you just go over to YouTube, look for channel, type in TI University, you'll be directed to these videos, help you get over that learning curve sooner than later. I always like to give everybody just a little peek at how our user base has been expanding over the past 6-7 years or so. 2016, and we've been experiencing pretty substantial growth ever since. 2021 is already off to a bang up start as well. But yeah, more traders in the market because of macro events, but never been a more fertile time to be in there and be a trader. All right, and now here we are to the day's agenda. Let me just clean that up real quick. I'm going to hit escape here. And as you're tracking ETF.
Oh, did you see that? I didn't know.
I did.
I got to turn this guy off. The English guy's bothering me. Yeah, this YouTube track was good in the daily chart. Really drawn, you know, on the wrong stuff. Overbought's probably a term here. But Jamie made a good point. What's done probably tomorrow. This has a date with the 500 bellwether one-day moving average this week. We'll add an RSI, same corresponding time frame. Those you guys get the point. So hold these levels of the RSI and bounce back into play. But test on some of these other stocks. Keep an eye on the island gap because, as we all know, the person who just asked the
did I grab it? I tried to stop it.
No, it's okay. I think you got it.
Okay.
I don't see it yet, but
well then, I better redo.
Let me grab it back. I'll grab it.
Okay.
Nope.
Go ahead and grab it.
Oh, funny. We've never done this before. That's funny. So the person who just asked that question, how do I change the symbols? Step one, Jamie.
I should have eyes back on my screen. 5% higher. They were gonna, firm up a little bit. But then in the end, lost control here on the 10 period from 270, positive 353, and negative 150. These numbers, the risk levels, or see here, a couple of questions popping in. Some of that as the market C is in this on a short, actually, on the VTRA. Number one, we have breakout following the net close here on 1593 playing out. At the same time, we had high volume in that thing most to add to the trade. This one a lot more pronounced as the day progresses, even had a third opportunity. This looks like a big move, but even all the way down to the, and get the histories, hour of upward swing as we took this little swoon down. Man working with machine, managing the exits a little bit better than Holly and her modified profit saves and reduced risks. So IRX, good signal, good winner if we held it, and a nice add opportunity right about the 655 level. Let's see, we're getting smaller and smaller here. REPX, honorable mention. What I do like about this one is where the exit, or excuse me, where the entry occurred. Right as that entry occurred, we also had that opening range break occur, maybe a split second after that. So once again, not knocking it out of the park as far as volume went today, only finished about 20% above normal. But I like the coinciding of the opening range break, and Holly gives us a signal just slightly before, right there at 469, and then right there at 470 is where that opening range break occurred, and we had a nice little lift on up to 509 there. So a lot of smaller stocks on the Holly blotter today, some nice percentage gains, but a fair amount of stop outs as well. So Holly turning in a decent day with some additional opportunity to add to these positions today, not so much in the form of trade arounds or conservative or moderate spread there. And that's pretty much it for Holly today. So unless anybody has any specific questions regarding Holly, I'll just pause for a moment, get a little drink of water. If we don't have any Holly questions, we'll just go on to the next topic. All right, I went ahead and started a couple of back tests just in case the back tester was running slow, and they have completed, so we won't have to be sitting here waiting for the back tester. I was having a few issues earlier today, but I think they've got it squared away now. Okay, now what we're going to talk about is the strategy that I can't remember the very first time I showed you guys this. I think it was over a month ago, since we didn't have an office hours last Monday due to the holiday. We've got some good data to look at. This little strategy has been holding up nicely. Let me just go ahead and show you guys the back test. Let me get the proper one up here, which was designed around a 3-day hold. And it's this window right here, the high volume swing du jour, okay? So if I click on the back test results here, timed exit, get me out at the market open plus 3 days, okay? So if we look at the daily here, and this back test was for 40 days, all right, as you can see right here. And let's see here. I'm not even going to try to estimate here a month ago, but as you can see, it's been holding up pretty well, okay? Not too bad. If we look at the biggest losing day, and keep in mind, I was running this in demo mode or paper mode, as we would call it, in Brokerage Plus. I just started running it live today, and I'll show you guys the entries from Brokerage Plus. So this is what I call, I'm just beginning the load up phase, okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, positions that were entered today, which is the 22nd, we're going to hold for 3 full days, not including the entry day. So positions that were entered today, we're going to hold for the 23rd, the 24th, 25th, and these positions that were put on today will be exited on Friday at the open or round about the open, pretty close to the open, depending on what the P&L is looking like. Could be the first 5 minutes, just never know. So just to give everybody an idea, from the day that the entries are made, 3 full days in between, and getting out on the next open. Let's see here. Notice what I'm doing here, okay? And this is where the zero commission environment is really coming in handy, or what I like about it, because I'm executing all of these trades through E-Trade right now. And by the way, the E-Trade version of Brokerage Plus is still being debugged. We released it a while back, but quickly found out there were a little bit more bugs than we originally anticipated. So we pulled it from the production release, and we'll re-release it once we feel comfortable that we've gotten all the bugs worked out. But everything I'll be showing you today was done in the E-Trade environment. So a little bit about what's going on here. We all know about paper trading or simulated trading, whatever you'd like to call it there. But there really is no substitute for live market action, okay? So in a zero commission environment, it makes it possible to do very small dollar amounts of transactions and see how this thing works in real time, in real world executions, without pulling your hair out because you're putting yourself at too much risk. So check out the dollar amount that I'm doing right now. And as I progress over the course of the next week or so, if the strategy is holding up, well, it's really easy to ramp it up or scale it and go from $50 positions to $100 positions to $200 positions, as most of these stocks are small dollar and highly liquid. So let me just make sure I get the right amount in here. Let's see, 5, that'd be 1250, just so we have accurate numbers here. Well, there we go. Okay, just wanted this to get green here. So you can see the biggest day here on the amount of buying power that we would need, not even $5,000, okay? Nice on the daily here. We've got 32 winning days in a row. When it does lose, we've got a maximum of 2 losing days in a row. And based on $50 a transaction, you're not gonna be losing sleep over these trades, right? Biggest winning day would be 93 bucks back on December 24th. The biggest losing day, a whopping $20. So what I'd also like to show you guys is based around the 3-day hold, these are the numbers. However, let's say you're a little bit more impatient or you want to get out sooner. If we run the same back test and we do get me out, so get me out tomorrow at the open, these are the numbers, right? So we got a smaller spread between our average winner and loser. Let's see here, 16, 8, 4, 450. Okay, even less buying power would be required on these because you're flipping them every day. But you can see here, still holding up pretty good, which I like that. Whether I'm holding 1 day or whether I'm holding 2 days, the only difference is I'm going to be making a little bit more money, hopefully, if I'm holding for 3 days. Get a bigger spread in here between average winner and loser. Only got 2 cents over here. If we look at the equity curve, if you're holding just overnights doing this type of thing, making a whopping 640, you may ask yourself, well, why are there 2 yield curves if you're not paying commission? Because I'm building in slippage here to make my expectations a little bit more realistic by building in 4 cents of slippage on the entry, 4 cents of slippage on the exit, for a total per trade of 8 cents of slippage. And we're doing the same thing over here as well. Okay, it's just right now, what are the numbers telling us? If we hold longer and take more risk, well, as you guessed, we're making more money. And of course, this is all predicated upon the market holding up, which after we kind of review what Steve was showing us, we're going to know if the market holds up, over the next day or so. So we always have to adjust accordingly, obviously. All right, so obviously we're not going to see any of today's activity in the back test because it has not updated yet, but I will pull my Brokerage Plus over here and I will show you that there were indeed 12 entries today, okay? So these are the 12 entries we can see right here. Number of entries, 12, all right? And these are all the positions, okay? And taking a little drawdown right now, but as I was stating earlier, this is a live account, this is real money, but we've got the luxury of doing micro lots and not having to worry about overcoming commission. So, looking at the red drawdown right here, my big drawdown of $8, okay? Don't think I'm gonna lose any sleep over that, but I can take solace in the fact knowing these are real positions, these are real fills, and if things continue to hold up, when I exit these positions on Friday, and then I'll be piling into more. So going back to what I call the load up phase, this is the first day of loading into these positions in this swing strategy. So we're going to be, loading the boat tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. And of course, these trades will exit on Friday, but we'll be taking more trades in. So by the time the week is done, could have 60 or more trades on the blotter, okay, moving forward. So once the load up phase is complete and start making the exits on Friday, then every day we'll make exits on the open, and pile in the new positions as they come. So it'll just be a constant exiting process and a constant reloading process as well. So I would think that, you know, some of these days are bigger where you'll have 20 trades in a given day. But it's going to be interesting moving forward because it's going to be a full blotter, 60, 70, 80 or more trades before we finish the load up procedure here. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Did you get those two stocks that you were talking about? David's question there on E-Trade earlier that wouldn't fill for you?
Yeah, and I was just going to catch up on the questions, and I thought that might be the case. Okay, very good question. I was going to talk about this next. There were two stocks today. The first one was SNES, this little guy. Okay, so you know I have another layout open when you know I'm doing this. I've got my Brokerage Plus parked right here, and I've got a duplicate of the window. So as these symbols scroll through, I can make sure that I'm getting executions. I've got my E-Trade panel open as well, and you know SNES came through today. I'm like, where is it? Where's my fill? And I'm thinking, well, there's a bug in Brokerage Plus, you know, what's going on here? And I thought this a couple times last week. Well, now that I'm familiar with the E-Trade platform, I went digging around and I tried to enter the position manually. And I got this error message that said, yeah, sorry, we're not allowing people to buy this stock. We're not allowing people to open longs in SNES is the message that I got from E-Trade today, which is messed up on many, many levels. But those are the rules that they're employing right now. Really not a whole lot we can do about it. So that happened on SNES. So even though I'm in 12 positions, I should be in 14 positions. SNES was one, and then this one was the other one, PBTS. So I looked at PBTS and I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's kind of revert back to the GameStop issue, okay? We all know what happened with GameStop, okay? They had to push the pause button because things got out of hand. And just to refresh everybody's memory, GameStop went from basically 5 and change, way the heck back here, 20, and then boom, short squeeze hit, ran up to almost $500, okay? Well, it wasn't the only one. All these other low float stocks started kind of following suit. So when I'm looking at PBTS, I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's happening across the board with a lot of these brokerage firms, whether it be Robinhood or E-Trade or Ameritrade, is they're simply blocking trading in these stocks that could get real volatile. And I talked to a buddy over the weekend. It kind of makes sense. The margin requirements from the clearing companies, and Steve, I forget what the layer is between the broker dealers and the clearing corps, DT something, whatever, but they set the margin requirements. And so when these stocks get out of hand, they're requiring these brokers to increase their margins by like these ridiculous amounts. Could be 10x, right? So, you know, could have 250 million in margin and they're wanting you to post up 2 billion in margin. You can't really do that. And that was the whole thing with Robinhood, right? It basically, this is throwing the whole system out of whack, what happened to GME. And I think that's why we're seeing some of these, you know, like SNES doesn't look like the others, right? You know, big deal. I mean, look at the chart here. Now, it did spike up way back here, but compared to PBTS, nothing, okay? And then there are several on the blotter today. Look, PULM, you're allowed to trade. It looks very similar. So, you know, it's kind of hit or miss which ones they're not allowing people to trade, like ALYA. It got real crazy too. Now, why did they prohibit trading in SNES when it looks nothing like those other guys? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine at this point. All I know, and I've heard this from other people as well, is that for some reason, they won't let you open new long positions in some stocks, okay? And it really kind of irks me, but not really a whole lot that we can do about it at this point. So, David, I think that's what you were getting at, right? Mm-hmm. Were those the same two that you were talking about, David? The SNES and the PBTS? Because I tried to execute both of those manually, and it gave me, nope, sorry, you cannot buy these stocks. If you've got some other examples, I'd be interested in hearing about them. So anyway, that's my spiel on those. Who knows what the real reason is? All I know is that for some reason, you can't buy certain stocks, which just sounds crazy. Okay, and of course, I have completely lost my train of thought after that. So let me get back on track here. Okay, so moving forward, it is going to be very interesting to see what happens here as the blotter gets bigger and bigger, and you know, see if the numbers hold up. Unless we have a big technical break in the SPY, as Steve was pointing out earlier, I would expect to see the strategy continue to hold up. All right, those were the two. Okay, David. Yeah, so as I said last week, there were a couple of orders that didn't get filled too, and I thought it might have been a bug in Brokerage Plus, but now we know. So it'll be interesting to see tomorrow if there are any others that we can't buy moving forward. Okay, a little time check here. All right. Got one more little topic to share with you guys here, but I just kind of want to share with you the fact that this is live now. I will continue to let things load up. So when we look at the blotter next Monday, there's positions to look at. So this is the first day. So we will see what happens. Now, I want to point out in the time we have left here, I kind of want to revisit the SPAC update because these things are starting to light up. A lot of the ones that were nice and flat are starting to gap up and do their thing. So I just kind of want to refresh everybody's memory on how to keep tabs on these guys. And the easiest way to do that is to pop over to our blank check blank check channel, and key off of this guy right here, the blank check acquisition corp company top list. Now, what I'm going to do here is just show you guys a quick way to find the ones that are young on the daily time frame, obviously. So I'll just stretch this daily part out. All right, so we could manually scroll through here, but you're going to notice some of these have already lit up and gone. CCIV, which our good buddy Dan is in, from like 15 bucks. This one just went blotto. For a while there, it was very tame. It was very tame right here too. So there was a lot of opportunity to get in there before the big move occurred. Now, as I said, some of these will have already went. Ooh, that was that. I got to write that one down because this one looks just like NGAC MRAC. Okay, it opened at 1311 and now has taken a snooze here. But check this out, and I just pulled that one up randomly. NGAC was the same thing. It had this big opening wick here, and then we were able to get into it before this happened. But MRAC's looking the same, and I failed to see that one earlier today, so I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on this one for sure moving forward. But if you just go through this list, you're going to notice that some are already gone, okay? But here's a handy little trick. Even if we keep the same filter configuration here, or you could completely eliminate this, but notice that this window is pointed to the blank check list. So on the first little tweak here, all I'm going to do is we're going to stay pointed to that custom list. We're going to come over here, we're going to attach the score filter, stock composite filter, I should say. We're just going to show as a column, and then voila, we're going to see the column pop up here. And to get the younger ones, the ones that might be basing with a nice little range there that you can easily identify and take some small risk, we're just going to sort so that the lower numbers are up top, okay? And voila, VTAC, limited existence, okay? Not really finding its bottom yet, just kind of making an excursion today, but you see what I'm talking about here. This is going to help you find the younger ones that are consolidating a lot faster than just going through the bulk list by looking at the ones that have a very low score or composite. That one not so pretty, not so pretty, but you will find some of these, okay? And keep in mind, I'm still pointing to the SPAC list, like it would have been nice to find that one early. but the lower scores are going to show you the ones that have been around the least amount of time here, okay? Now, watch what I do here, because we're still pointing to a finite list here, so we'll find some good ones, but we might not find as many as we would like. So if I go to the symbol list now, and I remove the symbols, or just point it to the broader market, not looking at a specific list, by default, by nature, it's still going to find a lot of SPACs. And once again, I just clicked on this one at random, and these are the ones that I typically like to find. They had the big opening candle, and they quickly got smashed back down. But this gives you an idea, you know what, they might want to go back here. They've already been there. They put in their bottom. So look, just on the first one I pulled up at random after removing the custom list of SPACs, this low score is always going to find you a lot of SPACs by default. I could even come in here and remove all the filters, right? Like, who cares if it's up or down from the prior close? Who cares how much volume it's done? Now we're not going to have any filters. We're just going to have a price cap of 1,000, and we're still going to get a really, you know, here's one that's 4 days old. LGVN doing the same thing. So this is a great way to find a lot of SPACs in a short amount of time, just based on sorting by the worst possible score level there. So an easy little trick for you guys. You could compose a top list. I mean, basically, there are no filters here. There's just a maximum price, and all we're doing is just going through the list, looking for the worst score numbers, and more times than not, they're going to be SPACs, right? And these just keep on coming. I mean, I was talking to a good buddy of mine in New York yesterday. He says one of his good friends runs about 150 million. He's a registered investment advisor. All he's been doing is finding these exact types of plays and limiting his risk on the downside. And the ones that go make a lot more than the ones that lose. And I think he's been doing this since 2020. And I think in 2020, he posted some absurd return to his clients, I think to the tune of about 70%. Now, of course, I'm not just saying jump in there headlong, but on the ones that, you know, on the ones that look like this, these are the ones that I'm targeting. We've seen where it's been. We're finding a nice bottom. You know, it's always a good idea to do the old anchor VWAP. Click the anchor to that first day of trading. Notice what we're seeing right here. Looks like anchored VWAP has become support on MRAC right now. So if we took a long somewhere around 1075, look at our out. You make it print a new low to get you out. We're talking 1036, okay? So low risk, if it goes, probably gonna get a nice pop. If you get stopped out, you're taking, you know, a fairly low risk on the trade. And Steve, I think we're up against the clock here. So unless there are any questions that I need to circle back around for, I guess we'll bring Scott in to walk us out here in a minute.
All
here.
good.
Well, Derek, we certainly welcome you. Welcome to the family. Yes, there's a lot of information out there, and I'll just repeat here. If you'd like more on a daily basis, remember to pop into the live support session every day at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, where you have a live trader in there answering questions in real time. Can you share the high volume swing du jour top list? Well, it's not a top list, but I can share the alert window. If you give me 1 second here, I'll just pop back around to my layout. I'll drop that in the chat here before we turn it over to Scott. All right, so once again, it's this window here. It's based around a 3-day swing trade. I'll drop that in. And you should have the cloud link in the chat panel right now. All right, ladies and gents, we're out of time. I'm out of content. So Scott, if you're ready to walk us out here, let everybody know how they can save a little bit of cash.
Episodes, and then check out the archives. There is also a discount code. Opportunity saves 15% off your first month or year of trade ideas. So grab that code and do an upgrade from standard to premium or start a new subscription with us. Thanks, everyone. We'll get the recording up later on tonight or tomorrow. You get an email reminder from GoToWebinar with a link to the playlist. Send all your questions to info@TradeIdeas. And you can find Jamie on Twitter at QuantBot, Steve's at TodayTrader, and also find @TradeIdeas. And our Facebook page is there, Trade Ideas Pro. Go ahead and like that and share stuff with your friends. Like I said, the recording will be up later on tonight or tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jamie, Steve.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Happy trading.
Bye-bye.